Hi guys, I'm Ellie and today I'm going to be talking with my friend.
My name is Marie-Laure and I am a French teacher in one of Auckland High School.
And we're going to be talking about languages and the importance of
Languages.
being able to
Can help
speak.
you to express yourself.
Good. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of learning languages in high schools or throughout the education journey. And Marie-Laure, why don't you start by answering the first question, which is, do you want to explain, as a French person, why you think it's important to be bilingual?
It's pretty exciting to know that you can speak many languages and understand many languages. It's quite fascinating what your brain is able to do and how much your brain is able to take in. For me, I never knew I would end up speaking English on the other side of the world, and it did open so many doors for me.
But you didn't speak English when you first arrived, right?
Not much, no. The most important one we learn in school is the touristic vocabulary, which is still very important. But when I first arrived here and I was immersed completely in life, New Zealand life was quite different.
Would you say that New Zealand's geographical location is the reason why students really don't like learning languages as much as they do in Europe?
They don't see the point as much as in Europe. In France more particularly, it's extremely central and we share borders, or the sea at least, with many different countries with each different languages.
Why would you say students, the ones that do, continue to learn languages?
They have a passion for it. I guess a lot of teachers build a relationship with their students too. It makes a huge difference, and there are some students, they're going to stay because they really like you as a teacher. They feel safe in your classroom. But for the subject itself, it also starts, I would say, with a real interest. A lot of my students will either be interested in fashion or cooking. A lot of them want to end up cooking and become a chef. And then there is the whole romantic thing of France that is still not completely unfashionable.
So beyond year 9, maybe year 10, why do you think students usually finish learning languages?
There are many reasons for that. Quite often one of the main one is that they realize that it is quite difficult. French is one of those subjects that is still very academic. Education has changed a lot. It's all hands-on, and which is exciting, but there are languages there are subjects like languages. You can still do activities that are hands-on or fun or entertaining and things, but you still kind of have a basic knowledge of it, and that makes sometimes the subject a little bit harder. There's still an element of having to know your vocabulary, for example, and for that there is no other way than learning it. As time passes, they are starting to think about their future, and parents often do not feel that it's going to be useful for their students, for their children. So students stop, and because they also have to make a choice, because as they go into their education, they unfortunately have to make a selection. I don't think there is a very good representation for languages, unfortunately. That's just not as important. I only considered myself completely bilingual when I came here to New Zealand. It was very funny because actually I realized this after a dream. And I had a dream, and my whole dream was in English. But otherwise now, I would say that I feel bilingual simply because I can think in English, I dream in English, my first instinct of language will be English. Et bonjour. Saskia, tu fais quoi? Ok, tu veux que je me pousse peut-être? Là, c'est bon, t'as plus de place? T'es confortable?
Like, what would you do to encourage students that have never had any access or exposure to other languages? What would you say that might encourage them to start learning or
to
dabble in
basically
it?
get their interest in the language? Well, the good thing about languages is that you can touch on pretty much everything. Because it's cultural, you can talk about anything. There are events all around the world that make it worth talking about. And you can, for older students, if they are into ecology, environment, or whatever, it happens in France too. You can find subjects. If they are into fashion, you can do it. If there is the Rugby World Cup, France is in there too. With the boys, you can talk about it. Also, learning languages as the possibility of opening your eyes to other culture. It's not just talking about French or German or Spanish or English, which are the main ones that I personally know, but it's also being open to a whole lot new world.
That brings us to a close. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about learning languages or language schools or New Zealand and France, what opportunities can open once you're bilingual then?
Or cute
mountain dogs. She's featured in most of these videos now. Then you know what to do.
Bye guys, leave a like down below. Or a comment if you have any questions, or like the, oh sorry, I'm going to do that again. Don't forget to leave a like down below. And if you have any questions, leave a comment.